Welcome to my channel. Think happy, be happy.
The stories of Mulla Nasruddin, the plan of a spy.
Mulla Nasruddin was lost in his thoughts when another businessman spoke. Well, friends, I can tell you another interesting story about Mulla Nasruddin. Mulla Nasruddin lived in a village for 6 months. The people of the village were greatly impressed by his cleverness, wit and comical nature. Mulla Nasruddin, who was also listening, realized that he had heard the voice before. But he could not remember whose voice it was. The businessman was saying, once, a district officer sent his elephant to the village and ordered the villagers to look after it. One meal of the elephant included more than a ton of grass, 10 to 15 sacks of barley and maize and other food items. In order to feed the elephant, the crops in all the fields got finished in a fortnight.
There was nothing else to feed the elephant. Finally, all the villagers went to Mulla Nasruddin for help. They wanted him to ask the district officer to take back his elephant. All the villagers met Mulla and said, "Sir, can you convey our message to the district officer?" Mulla asked, "What is the message?" The villagers told Mulla everything in detail. After knowing everything, he agreed to meet the officer. After this narration, the businessman paused. Then another businessman asked, "What happened next?" Before the storyteller could resume, another businessman said, "Mulla Nasruddin is a good man, always ready to help others." The storyteller did not like this praising of Mulla Nasruddin. Hence he said, "What kind of help are you talking about?" The truth is, Mulla took a huge sum of money from the poor villagers in order to do their work of meeting the officer. In order to pay Mulla Nasruddin, the villagers had to sell their houses and even their fields. That is why even today those people are leading a miserable life. Mulla Nasruddin is responsible for their misery. Mulla was listening to everything carefully. He became red with anger. But the storyteller, who was unaware of Mulla's presence, went on with his narration. So Mulla went to meet the district officer. On reaching there, he went and stood meekly with the other people who were standing there, with folded hands and waiting for the officer. Many people had come there with their problems. When the officer appeared, Mulla began to pray to God that somehow the officer should look at him and agree to hear the problem. After some time, the district officer looked at Mulla. Suddenly, Mulla began to shiver in fear. He began to sweat profusely due to nervousness. Then, gathering some courage, he went closer to the officer and said, "Oh great master, please listen to a request of your servant." The officer was impressed by Mulla's flattery. He allowed him to speak. But suddenly, Mulla lost his self-confidence. He could not decide how to place his problem before the officer. So, instead of telling about the problem of the villagers, he began to flatter him. He said, "Oh merciful master, you have been very kind to us by sending your elephant to our village. We are pleased and honored to serve you. But there is one problem." The officer asked, "Tell me, what is the problem?" Mulla went down on his knees and said, "Sir, we are taking great care of your elephant, yet he is not happy. I think he is lonely. If you send another elephant, he will not feel lonely and live happily with us." The officer agreed to send another elephant at Mulla's request. He also allowed Mulla to kiss his feet. Mulla Nasruddin bent down and kissed the feet of the officer so hard that the black polish of his shoes left a mark on his lips. Until now Mulla Nasruddin was listening to everything patiently. But the last few words of the businessman angered him greatly. And he shouted, "You liar! How can you narrate false stories? Mulla Nasruddin has never bowed before anyone. Friends, please throw out this liar from this place." Then Mulla went close to the storyteller, and recognized him immediately. He was the same rich man's servant to whom Mulla had sold the horse of the officer who had charged him money for entering Bukhara. Actually, the servant was a spy of the Amir, looking for Mulla Nasruddin. As soon as Mulla recognized him, he shouted, "Oh, you spy! How much does the Amir pay you for your work? I know that in order to please the Amir and for your own benefit, you trouble the poor and innocent people." By now the spy had also understood that he had traced Mulla Nasruddin. So at once, he called for the soldiers, but as soon as Mulla heard the approaching footsteps of the soldiers, he ran out of the guest house. He saw soldiers searching for him in every nook and corner of the bazaar. Mulla searched for his donkey to escape, but he could not see it anywhere. He was now regretting his haste in confronting the spy. He now felt that he should have kept his cool and not confronted the spy. On the other hand, the spy, disguised as a businessman, was looking for Mulla Nasruddin everywhere, as he had succeeded in tracing him after a lot of effort, and he did not want to let go of this golden opportunity of capturing him.
Please subscribe my channel and encourage me to upload more videos.
Like, comment, share, subscribe and press the bell icon and never miss another update.